Stewardship. Servants should be acutely aware that they are not owners or masters, but only caretakers or money managers. It's their job to take the assets entrusted to them, not given to them, but entrusted, and use them wisely to care for and expand the master's estate. If a servant does not fully grasp the implications of the master's ownership, he will not be a faithful servant or steward by definition. So the steward is to be characterized by industriousness. The servants must work hard and not slack off. Accountability. The stewards will one day stand before the master to explain why they did what they did and didn't do with what belonged to him. Faithfulness. Servants seek to handle their master's estate in a way that will please him. Stewardship is the servant's life calling. Resignation isn't an option. Where else are you going to go? Except to God himself. Wisdom in investing. Because they are managing the master's assets, servants must choose investments carefully. They can't afford to take undue risk. The goal isn't merely to conserve resources, but to multiply them. You got to think strategically. And readiness for the master's return. When do you expect the owner to return? And the answer is today, of course. You're always ready. You don't know when he's going to return, so you expect him to return today. You live each day as if it were your last day. You live in that way. And there is an actual fear of the master. And there is this, we sometimes call it reverential awe. If you look up the word fear, surprisingly, it actually does mean fear. And that's why it's translated fear in the Hebrew and the Greek. But that fear is not the terror of one who doesn't love us. It's not the fear that 1 John's talking about when it says perfect love casts out fear. Dread. It's not the dread, but it's hey, you know, your dad, you might have known. How many grew up in a home when they knew their dad really loved them? Okay? Some of you did. I didn't, and apparently the rest didn't. I didn't raise your hand. But when you grow up with a dad who really loves you, does that mean you never feel any fear of what dad's going to say when he gets home and finds out what you did? No. Love and fear go hand in hand. They're not contradictory, fear in that sense. If the stewards work wisely, they know they'll fare well. But if they've been unfaithful, they're going to feel, you know, their dad's going to discipline them. And it motivates them to good stewardship. The reward is to the individual, so there's always the individual standing. Single-mindedness in service. It's all about service to the master. You want to serve the master well.